My name is Deepak Gawas and I head marketing for Powerweave. Powerweave owns eCommerce, which is an AI-powered e-commerce solutions brand where we offer AI-powered solutions for companies of different sizes and help them with their e-commerce journey. We've been doing this for the last 22 years, and for the last 5 years, we have been extensively working with AI, and we truly believe that the world is moving to AI-powered e-commerce, and the sooner we get there, the sharper our benefits are going to be. So before we deep dive into the session, which is how you can unlock e-commerce potential using generative AI and how it can help you change the way you manage your product catalog. Let me give you a vision where I see this going, how future e-commerce businesses would be using generative AI for their e-commerce product management. Let me use a popular pop culture reference, which is Harry Potter. All of them have those magic wands where you just swish and you have clothes getting folded to itself. You have, objects moving to their respective places. I believe generative AI is that magic wand that can allow you to do the exact process with your product catalog management. And in today's session, we are quickly going to look at it. So a few pieces that I'm going to cover today. One is the the e-commerce buying journey specific to B2B, the challenges in product catalog management, how generative AI can help in product catalog management, some key benefits, some key statistics, and I'll also share a real life case study what we have implemented for one of our customers. So let me let me start with a really interesting statistic. So I am considering B2B buyers here because B2B e-commerce is a lot more complex than your standard B2C commerce, and it's often considered not glamorous. But because it's extensive, it's more complicated, and the volumes are huge than B2C, I think it's the perfect piece for me to share with you because anything that can be done for B2B can easily be done for B2C. So if you look at the statistics that are on the screen, this is what buyers are saying. They are quitting their buying journey because of incorrect, inaccurate product information, outdated product information, because the catalog is or the site is very difficult to navigate. And in some cases, the catalog is not in a preferred language. And anytime this happens, it directly impacts the, the inquiries and the sales on your website. So it has a direct impact on the company profits, on the company sales. And if you look at this in if you had to summarize this problem in one single line, it points to just one piece, which is problems with product catalog. Everything that you look at the screen, the product information isn't correct, the product tags aren't correct, the product photos maybe not be correct. So product information management and its accuracy is one of the most popular challenges that e-commerce businesses are facing. Now you must be wondering, if this is such a big problem, why is it still out there? Why are people still struggling with this? Three simple reasons. It's extremely time consuming. And these are some stats from IDC and Forrester. Manual catalog management requires business to spend close to 500 hours of one employee on managing product catalog. That's huge. And the more extensive your catalog gets, this just has to double up. It's expensive. On an average, companies spend 1 million US dollars per year on just manual product catalog management. And once you tally the first and the second, it becomes extremely difficult to scale. So the bigger your catalog, the bigger problems, the bigger it's more expensive, more time consuming. You don't know what to do. So what you do is you somehow manage with your existing way of doing things, whatever you can figure out, you keep doing that because not everybody can afford this cost. And even if the large companies can afford, It's really expensive. So how does generative AI help here? It's the magic one I'm talking about. Generative AI essentially is that arm of artificial intelligence that helps you generate content in various ways. So you may say it can generate text for you, it could generate images for you, it could generate some analysis for you. And since we all, I am sure, must have used ChatGPT in some or the other way, you're familiar with how brilliantly it does that. So imagine you have your images and you have your magic wand and it will give you a description of that brilliant image. You want to write a product description, what you do is you type in a few keywords, you upload the image, and it will throw out that product description for you. You have thousands of images. You want to categorize them into multiple categories. You upload them and download a file which will give you all the images categorized in specific categories. It could be drinkware, it could be a jacket, it could be a t-shirt, whatever your products are. All this at amazing speed. That's what generative AI can do for you. So, it, and the way it works is extremely simple. The way you use ChatGPT, you upload your images or you upload your text, and it will give you the necessary output. You don't have to worry what happens behind the scenes. Now, some really now, a quick glimpse of how this can work. This is one of our offering which allows you to create amazing product photos. It's a short 1 minute video. Just have a look at it. What's happening is I am using a simple photo. I am trying to create it with different amazing backgrounds in different sizes. And all this within seconds. All you need to do is just think what you want to do with that image, whether you want to place this cup on a furniture or maybe on a table, and it will do the rest for you. And it looks beautiful. And that's not all. It will remove the background for you. It will add the shadows. It will, create different kind of graphics for you. For example, this is another. It's a paint box, and just look at how brilliantly it does it. And you have so many options. You don't have to be satisfied. You don't need any dependency on anybody else. And and this is just one example of what generative AI can do. You can either select a drop down or you can simply type. Your imagination is the key here. You simply type it and the system will do the rest for you. So this is a very small glimpse of what you can do with generative AI. There's a lot. So, but before I go to the other use cases, what are some of the key benefits that you see this can bring to your e-commerce product catalog management? And these are statistics, these are data points which we have derived from our implemented solutions. It is extremely fast. It is 3x faster. You just saw a glimpse of it. In some cases, it can go beyond this as well, depending on how simple the operation is. And it does with 96 to 98% accuracy. One of the common challenges with manual product catalog management is it is prone to errors because after all, there's a human behind it. With this, you can expect up to 96 to 90% accuracy and the rest 2% is manual. So wherever you needed a huge team or tremendous amount of time to do this, you can do it faster and you can do it with great accuracy. And to the last key benefit that all businesses are looking for in today's time, it can generate at least 30% savings for you. We have seen this number go higher, but like I said, it depends on the complexity of your catalog management processes. But these are some of the results we have achieved for our implemented solutions. Now, if you are wondering that what else generative AI can do, let me show you some more use cases. You just saw you can create beautiful product images using some text prompts. There are some more use cases. You can create an image from scratch. In the previous session, Tapan showed us how You can create an image using Midjourney. This is similar to this, slightly less sophisticated because you don't need that much details, but you can create amazing images using small prompts. You can upload an image and it will generate auto tags for you. You don't need to manually tag them. So imagine you upload thousands of images, all of them, you can define how many tags you for each of this. Everything at scale. You have, let me give you another great use case, which is image categorization. And I'll also talk about a real life case study about it. You have thousands of images, you want to sort them into different categories. Manually, you know how to do it. You upload them on the system, it will categorize them into whatever that category is. Everything at scale and at speed. Another great example is something like an instant FAQ maker. You can click a button, that bot will scan that particular product and give you all the details in the form of a chatbot. You simply ask it, what are the reviews? What is this used for? It will simply answer this for you. You don't really have to manually search for answers. So the applications for this are tremendous. And you can start with the simplest, you can go as complex as you want. But the the point which I'm trying to make is this is where the world is moving, and this is where all e-commerce businesses will have to move to get that efficiency which they always desire. So with with that in mind, let me share a quick real life case study of something that we deployed for one of our customers. For obvious reasons, I'm not stating the name, but the company is based out of North America, and they were facing significant challenges in classifying their images into various categories. They had a team to do it manually, but it was time consuming, and like I said, errors, which was leading to delays and increased cost. Specifically, when you have the seasons like your Black Friday or maybe the end of year sale or your Christmas, how do you sort this? What we did is we analyzed their systems. We created an AI powered platform that was trained on their data to take all those images in bulk in a batch, process them through multiple models, and classify them into the right categories. So it basically we reduce their need for manual classification. And the key results that we achieved for them, one was definitely accuracy. We generated up to 98% accuracy, a huge reduction in their efforts, 80% reduction in their efforts. So you can at least say that it became 80% faster for them. And look at the scale. Every single scan was scanning at least 2 million assets at a time. So doesn't matter the number of images, you simply upload it, and 80% of your effort is just reduced at the click of a button. So this is one of the use cases, and there are more which can be spoken about, and I'm happy to discuss them in detail. But I would like to repeat again that the world is definitely moving to AI powered commerce. Generative AI is that magic wand that can definitely help you do a lot more than you're doing right now, specifically in case of e-commerce operations. And you just saw a glimpse of it. With
Fantastic.
that, I'm open for any questions that you have.
Great. Thank you so much for your incredible presentation. I would love for you to maybe forecast of, the big tech giants, Facebook, Meta, Google, Microsoft, Amazon. Who do you think will be the biggest players, the first to really dominate this space?
So I would like to divide them into two categories. One is the solutions provider, or you may say the tech provider, which you have Google, you have Amazon, you have Microsoft, because they are building those machine learning models. They are building all those apps. For example, Chat GPT, which was by OpenAI, was funded by Microsoft. So they would constantly come up with this amazing technology for you. But them building these solutions for you is going to be extremely expensive, and they wouldn't really want to venture it unless it's a $1 million deal for them. On the other hand, you have companies like Amazon or eBay or Flipkart, Walmart, who are already using this for their automation. So what they would do is either they would use the same models which the tech companies are building, or they may even come up with their own because they have the resources to do that. So those two segments of companies would be leading it in their own respective space. That becomes, so one is definitely a disadvantage for smaller players because Amazon or Walmart is never going to share their secrets with others. But because we have companies like Microsoft or Google who are putting out those models, smaller companies can work with tech players like us and others who can use their models, build products, and customize them for somebody. Because the AI tech is so democratized, you don't really need to come up with everything on your own. It's out there, you use it, modify it, and just get started with. It's extremely cost effective that way.
Fantastic. And when it comes to image generative AI, often it's used for conceptualizing products, but it's not necessarily for e-commerce images. Have you seen any applications of image generation for the actual images of e-commerce? And is it just of, the models and the background, or can it also be a little bit of the actual product itself?
So that's an interesting one. There are multiple ways you could use this, Frankie. One is if you have a raw image, you create amazing backgrounds for it, which we just saw. Second is if you train the model enough, and I'm talking about a custom requirement, you can create product images on your own. So if you want to create a t-shirt, you can train the model on by looking at certain t-shirt photos, and it can create a t-shirt for you. You want to create a red t-shirt, it will do that. The next uh, use case would be you can create ads using the same. You can put those t-shirts or maybe that coffee mug or that amazing lipstick on a really fancy background with a nice headline on it. That's also a great use case, and everything happens on your own. All you need to tell the system is create a nice background with some fancy tagline targeting at this offer or for this audience, and it will do the rest. And obviously you can always curate it. What also I see this going ahead is, and it's actually some of the companies are out there doing it. You have an image of a t-shirt or a really beautiful dress. You can move the image, or you can superimpose that particular piece of apparel on a model's body simply through tech. You don't really need to do all the photo shoots all over again. You do have a couple of angles and you can superimpose that, and you have photos with models ready. Some of the companies are doing that, and that's definitely possible as well at this point.
Fantastic. And you've worked with brands like Coca-Cola, Colera, Telstra, Disney, Hotstar, and Unilever. So if you were to go to them and encourage them to start implementing this in their companies, what department, what teams need to change, what roles need to change, and how would you slowly, incrementally change their workflows and processes?
So, unfortunately, most of these companies are already doing this. I mean, in one of your videos, we saw that beautiful ad by Coca-Cola, which was completely generated by generative AI. So, most of the big companies are already using generative AI in some or the other form. They could be using that for automation or for product image creation. The one piece where this can start is I have seen a lot of big companies rely on their consultants and their agency partners to guide them with their process. Their knowledge is limited when it comes to tech. So most of these companies would always rely on their consultants. So it's critical for agencies and consultants to understand how they can use in the creative process. You can create beautiful posters, beautiful photo imagery, you can create shopper POS, and not just for creation. One of the key uses for this is quality check. Whatever you are putting, they are putting out immense amount of content on a daily basis. How do you ensure it's up to a certain quality? How do you ensure there's no racism, there's no nudity, there is no vulgarity out there? You can even use all these to curate and moderate all those pieces, which is already happening for a lot of companies. So, but if you had to really reach out to them and ask them to change a lot of their processes, the first point of contact would be agencies and consultant. They need to reach out to their respective spokes, could be the procurement, could be the marketing department, and reach out to them with a small POC. You don't want to shake the system if it's not ready. You go to them with a small proof of concept, tell them let's do this, and let's find the one piece where we can implement this, do it on a smaller scale, measure its results for let's say 3 months, and slowly scale up. All you need is a proof in the pudding once you do it. And if it works, if it is the right use case, because that's an extremely challenging task, that's your inroad to get this done.
That's great answer. And I've seen some companies will start internally. So they will, even with metaverse technologies, they might start in VR and things like that. They might start with training their sales team before they go out to market to consumers and make a big, press, show about their new launch. Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your time today. Really very insightful. Do you have any kind of closing thoughts for the audience or anyone listening?
Yes, definitely. One of the constant challenge or concerns which I've seen companies adopting AI or generative AI for that matter is, where do we start? How do we do this? Do we really need this? And if yes, where should we start using this? I mean, these are very pertinent questions, and if you try to spend time researching and figuring this out, it's going to be time consuming, and frankly, none of the business owners really have that kind of time. The fastest way and one of the most cost effective way to do this would be reaching out to a consultant, start on a consulting basis to understand what needs to be done, how it needs to be done, or whether it even needs to be done. And then you can figure out where do you want to go this, because most of these consultants would have the knowledge, the tech, the team to do this. So you as a company don't have to hire anybody or do any of this. That would be much more faster and cost effective for you. But do give it a time, because it's no longer an option for especially the smaller and mid-sized companies, because the world efficiency and the ROI is one of the key metrics which is driving the top companies, and they're already far ahead in this journey. So you need to catch up.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of these technologies are now, open source out to the market, but we forget all of the R&D that's been happening behind closed doors in a lot of these companies for a long time. Okay, well, thank you so much. Really a pleasure to have you. Our next session is actually in 3 hours time. So please do, tune back in if you're available for that. So that will be a keynote with Martin Adams, who's spoken at Cannes, who's spoken at a number of different incredible conferences around the world and has sold multiple businesses in AI. So thank you so much, and I'll see you hopefully later if it works for you in terms of timings.
Sure.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Frankie. Thank
Bye-bye.
you, everybody. Bye-bye.